Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Wrestling Roundup, your weekly dose of all things wrestling. From epic showdowns to backstage drama, we've got you covered. So let's dive into the ring. I'm your host, Jay, and I'm here with my fellow co-host, Dan.
Good day, Jay.
How you doing, sir?
Good. We got a very, very special episode today.
Yes, we do, because today, joining us today, we have a special guest who's been making waves in the ring lately. He's fast, he's fierce, he has an undeniable hustle, and maybe you've seen him in AAW Pro, IWR, AEW Dark, maybe you saw him in the Chi-Town Rumble. But most recently, he was in NCG Wrestling. Hailing from Detroit, Michigan, he's one half of the Hustle and the Muscle. Please welcome Zeeko.
Hey, what's going on?
How you doing, sir?
Good, man. How are you? Thanks for having me on, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you for being here.
Good. Thanks for taking the time.
First question is, you're part of Hustle and Muscle. Are you the Hustle or the Muscle?
Oh, man, I am the muscle, but I got a lot of hustle in me. If you saw my tag partner, Rohit Raju, he's got some muscle with him himself. So it's interchangeable, right?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, I've seen you live here in NCG, and you're a mountain of a man. That's why I asked if you were the Hustle or the Muscle, because you're huge and you're fast.
Thank you. I try, man. Working on for a long time, so I'm glad it shows, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's it, definitely. Yeah. So how did you get started? How did you decide one day little Zeeko's at his house and he decides, hey, I want to try wrestling?
No, yeah, for sure, man. So I grew up, obviously a fan in that sense of things. So, growing up, just like everybody else, watched the Attitude Era, watched Triple H, watched, all these, dudes that were larger than life. And then as I got older, I got into theater, actually. So I'm a theater boy.
Really?
So, and I competed in powerlifting. So when I was doing those things, and I was like, oh, well, those two worlds kind of is like professional wrestling, right? So when I got back into wrestling a little more when I was older, I got the WWE Network, and I was watching. I kind of understood what it really was. I was like, oh, this is something I'm perfect for. So since then, I was 21 at the time, 22, around that age. And then, went and found a school to train at. From then on, the rest is history, right?
Yep. No, and it's a heck of a history. There's a lot of titles that you've held.
Yeah. Making a name for myself.
That's it. Getting the brand out there, buddy.
Yes, sir. Yep. No, it's been cool. It's been a good road. I'm blessed to have good opportunities, and I surround myself with good people. And so far, everything's been treating me well, so I appreciate that.
Good. Can you tell us where you trained? Was it in Michigan?
Yeah, so I started out at this little school called Pure Pro Wrestling, close to Flint, Michigan. After that, I went to, I was trained by Johnny Bravo at the Can-Am Dojo. And then after that, I furthered my training under Jake Something, TNA superstar Jake Something.
Yep, we know him as well.
So, I started somewhere, and then I always went somewhere else just to kind of get a little bit more and a little bit more. So, yeah, after Can-Am, I was trained by Jake, and then from then on, I went on the road and started pursuing the dream, baby.
Well, Jake Something is something, because we've seen him live.
Yeah,
man,
isn't it? Knee slapper. He's something.
He's something. I thought he was a Sasquatch coming out the size of him coming through there.
Yeah, and it's funny because when you watch my first matches, kind of like first breaking in, it mirrored a lot of Jake. And then as I figured out who I was and developed that personality, getting out of my shell, then the theater boy started coming out and being really energetic, and I created Zeeko, right?
Yeah. So. But you had ring personas before Zeeko, correct?
Yes. So I went by Karam, which is that's my actual name, Karam. Okay. And I had and it's funny because it wasn't like a gimmick per se, but I had the long hair, I had the muscles, I had the nice tights, and I went by, well, I'm the epitome of a professional wrestler, right?
Yeah.
And then, but I always felt kind of like locked in to like what everybody kind of wanted me to be. as opposed to what I actually am. You know, they always like, oh, Carl, big monster, long hair, doesn't talk. He's just big and strong and, you know, whatever, cool. But like, I'm a little crazy, you know. I'm loud. I'm like going nuts. And so one day when I got back from my European tour, I was like, you know what? I'm cutting all the hair off. I just cut it like right there. I bleached it myself. I had no idea what I was doing. It was just kind of like, I need to feel like I'm me now, because I feel like if I'm not me, I'm not going to be able to grow. And if I can't grow, there's no reason for me to do this.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are like, why are you cutting the hair? Why are you getting rid of the tights? Why are you changing all your stuff that works? And it's simply because it's like, I need to figure it out. I need to figure out what's authentic to me. And if it's authentic to me, even though it's not the epitome of a professional wrestler, it's me, and who I am is Zeek, the freak, baby. Yeah. And that's, so that's, you know, since then, I think people caught on. At first people were skeptical, but I think people caught on, and it wasn't something like, oh, it's getting good. It's kind of, I had to figure it out. I took pieces out, I put it in. It's a creation, you know, and it's the best part about it. It's authentic to me.
And that's the thing. If you don't believe in it, how are you going to get the fans to believe in it, right?
Correct. Yeah, and I believe it. I believe it, man. You see me in there, I believe it. I'm yelling, I'm screaming, I'm roaring. And especially at NCG, man, they really give me the ball to be who I am and show that who I am works. So.
Yeah. Oh, and it works. Like I said, I've seen you live. I did go back and watch some of your earlier matches and that, and the size, the look, the hair, the quietness kind of reminded me a lot of Rusev when he came into WWE.
Mm-hmm.
And he did the same thing as he had to get out of that shadow and reinvent himself. So kudos on that, because without knowing Zeek the Freak, it's
right.
You know, you're top of the card, and I always say that you're in NCG, you're the top face of NCG.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. And again, I think I have a good connection with that crowd, and I think they see the authenticity and what I deliver. And, you know, it's cool because I believe, like, you know, it's not the moves or what I do in there, like, as far as that type of stuff that connects with people. It's my energy, it's my aura, and it's the larger than life aspect of myself that I think they appreciate and enjoy. So, you know, and that's just something, you know, that I think it goes to my theater roots and what makes me me. So it's real fun to be there, man. So, you know.
So your theater background, you said, prepared you for this stage that you're on right now.
Oh yeah. I actually, like, I advocate anybody in wrestling to do some sort of theatrics or anything like that, because I think that's the true nature of what we do. I think anybody can be a professional wrestler, but what's going to make you a sports entertainer? And I think that's what, and to me, I always say I'm a sports entertainer. I am. You know, maybe I don't have all the cool chains or 1,001 moves, but I can for sure make you cheer and get an emotion out of you, make you cheer, boo, or get an emotion. And I think that's what it's about. So yeah, as far as like theatrics go, I think it's the most important part of what we do.
So have you built your character based on a character that maybe you've played on stage?
No, but I was the main character a lot of times, and I'm always the main character, baby.
There you go.
I have like favorite, like, see the things I did, like I was Danny Zuko in Grease.
Oh, nice.
You know, when I was younger, I was Peter Pan in, you know, Peter Pan. I was Link Larkin in Hairspray. I was George Bailey in It's a Wonderful Life. So I got to play like cool people, but they never inspired what I do now. As far as like what inspires me, you know, I can't nail it down to specific people. I know I take elements from like Rick Rude and Billy Graham and things like that, but it's just I like the colorful aspect of the 80s. I like the loud, the larger than life. Like, it's kind of like the skeleton of what we do, if, you know, the golden era of what we do. And the number one thing that I take as a compliment is when people watch my stuff, they're like, you're somewhat of a throwback, but you add that modern spice. And I think that's just my goal. So regardless if I take inspiration from a movie or certain wrestlers or anything, it's the fact that I'm kind of a blast of the past, but also I have that modern, swag to it, right? Yeah. So, it's really just finding that groove. And, again, it's what I love in this business is what I'm portraying who I am in it, right? I'm not trying to be what somebody wants me to be. It's like, this is how I view wrestling. This is what I'm going to be in wrestling.
Right. And that's what they say. Sometimes the character is just an extension of, the actual person just cranked up to 10, maybe 11.
Right. Yeah, they say that, dude. And I just crank it up to 100, to 1,000,
See, I'm ready. I watched, I saw one of your matches against Ace Austin, and that was at, what was it, Meltdown?
We weren't there just yet, right?
No,
that
yet?
was
Okay.
like, okay, he just changed his name. He's still wearing tights. It's like, that's what I mean. It wasn't always, I just didn't get there. I was like blocks. And it's kind of cool because I can go on YouTube and I'm like, oh, this is where I was kind of this. This is where I was kind of that. This is where I'm trying stuff out, and very fun. So it's cool that it's all there.
Yeah, and I will say with the long hair, it took me a second. I was trying to figure it out. It's like, wait a minute, I'm trying to look, and this is the same man. Hold on, what's going on?
Same guy.
It's same guy. So you were overseas, and then you came back and made that decision to, go in a different direction. Yep. Where else have you performed?
As far as overseas?
Yes.
Yeah, so it was primarily in Germany, okay. And Germany took really good care of me. It was the promotion. It was for, it was the Bambi Killer. It was his promotion, and it was, and they took care of me. I defended the FIP championship there twice, and then so I love wrestling in Europe. I think the culture is cool and it's really great, and I think it's important for everybody to go and experience that. But as I hope to do it again and kind of explore more of Europe. I think I got a lot to offer in the UK and things like that. But I was primarily in Germany, and it was cool because I had some family there too that I never met before, and I was able to just I met my cousin, and he's literally me except he's like 5'2", and I was like, this is weird.
So you say you love the acting part of it. Do you have any plans later on of maybe becoming like the next Dwayne Johnson and going from wrestling into the acting?
I think everybody wants to be The Rock, right?
Wow,
yeah. I think I love what I do, and I always say wrestling is the ultimate form of theater, because we get to break the fourth wall, and the stage is the ring. Our stage is the ring, right? So I never really felt like I left acting in that sense, but as far as like going into movies and shows, I would love to. I think I still got to learn how all that works. But I do think like my passion along with wrestling is entertainment. I want to be in entertainment as long as I can. I think Zeeko and the Zeeko brand can be outside of the ring too, right? So whatever opportunity comes my way, if it fits who I am and it fits what I love to do, which is entertaining, then yeah, I'm all for that, 100%. And yeah, The Rock's cool, so I would love to be compared to him, right?
You're damn near almost the size of him. I said.
Yeah, cool, sweet.
You're just like, you came out there in NCG, and I had never been to NCG before that, and you came out and it was like, this guy's a brick shithouse. Like, who's gonna defeat this guy? Who can even get in there with him? It was just
only when they cheat. Only when those cowards cheat, man. Yeah. You saw what they did to me last time.
I did, yeah.
You were there.
Clowns, cowards, all of them. Damian Chambers, I had him here. I had him in the palm of my hand. What did he do? He gets his big doofus friend.
Yeah.
I'm walking and distracting me. I'm like, all right, dude, I'll take both of you at the same time. But whatever, man.
So what is there a preference to you when you're in there and you're performing and I know that like the crowd is just going crazy? Is there a preference for you on whether the people just loved what they saw and they're cheering you, or the fact that you won the match?
I'm gonna have you ask me that again because I got these stupid dogs.
Oh, that's no problem.
Out. Go lay down. I'm so sorry about that.
Not a problem.
Can you tell me that again? I got my daughters here.
No.
Out.
I just wondering, like, because I've seen you in the ring, and I've seen a lot of your matches, your pre-matches, before NCG, and my thought was that you enjoy the wrestling, the acting part of it, the telling the story, more than the actual outcome of that match, on whether you won or not. Because if you lost, which happened, people are pissed off about that. Like, that's a genuine reaction from that fan.
You know, my job is I'm going to say it like this. You know, obviously, I'm in it to win it. Yeah. You know, I'm always in it to win and become champion and to help build the show and the brand to higher places, because I know I have the potential to do that, and I know I have the power to do that. But entertainment is what we do. So if I can get an emotion, if I could tell that story correctly and get where we need to go with it, that's what's the most important. But I'm always going to chase being number one. I'm always going to chase being the champion, because I am a champion. Yep. Whether I hold the belt or not, I am a champion.
That's what I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you, do you need to be the champion to be number one? Because I don't think you do. I think it helps. It helps the brand. But I think it's what you're bringing to the ring is you're already a champion in the fans' eye to begin with.
Right. And, you know, I think the fans do see that. But with that, I also want to show them that they're right. Yeah. Right. You know, so the gold, that's where the gold comes. And it's like, and that's where it's like, if I win gold ever in NCG, it's not just mine, it's the fans too, because they asked for that and they believed in me. Right. And when I raise that title high, it's not just showing them that it's mine, it's showing them that, yo, we did this together. Yeah. So that's how I view it is, you know, and I appreciate that, man. You know, there's a couple of places to where I'm not so liked, you know, and you can see a different side of me. I don't know if you ever see my Instagram here and there. Yeah. But, you know, if yeah, I could be a kind of, I don't know how, can we swear here?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's not too bad. I can be kind of a fucking dick. You know? So, but again, I know NCG is my home. I consider that my home promotion. So, and they know that too. So they'll always get the good side of Zeek the Freak there.
Yeah.
They do.
So saying that, which do you actually personally prefer, being the face or being the heel? Because both brings out a huge reaction from people.
How do I answer this? Everybody loves to be cheered. Everybody, regardless if, you know, even the best heels will say, I like to be cheered. Right. But I think there's just a sense of freedom when you can kind of just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's so where the freak would come out, right?
What is it?
That's where Zeek the Freak would come out.
That's where Zeek the Freak comes in. And if you see, man, when you see the bad side of Zeek the Freak, it's a whole different being. So I would be lying to you if I said it's not fun. It's very fun to be outlandish and say sometimes what I feel in that moment. And like in Chicago, they hate me. They hate me in Chicago, right?
That's probably a Michigan.
I know
thing,
that.
man.
Those Chicago guys don't like Detroit bodies in there.
No.
So I know, and if you're gonna spit something at me, I'm gonna spit it back. And that's the other thing. It's like actually the last show that we were at, there was one guy really at NCG, the last show I was at, he was heckling me a little bit. You know, I don't hold what I have to say just because I'm a good guy, but because I was being real with it, he was like, actually, I love this guy. So I think like when you see the authenticity, even when I'm not so nice, the authenticity is what gets them like, oh, this guy's a bad motherfucker, right?
Yeah.
So,
wow.
But yeah, I enjoy being a bad guy. I guess I'll say it like that. I enjoy being a bad guy when I have to be. When I have to be.
Tell you my experience, and I've been watching wrestling for a long time. I love it. I love every fight. I love the storytelling. I love the fighting. I love the moves, all of it. But the first time I saw you come out, as soon as I saw your pants, I thought Superstar Billy Graham.
Boom, baby. There you go.
Because to me, Superstar had to be as big as he was to wear that and be confident.
You're right. No, you're absolutely right. I'd be lying to you if I said, to be honest, like Billy Graham was when I was younger, even when I was younger, and he's way past my generation. Way before my generation. Yeah. But I remember I was watching documentaries of him when I was like 14 years old, and he always caught my eye because I liked Rick Rude, I liked Triple H, I liked Billy Graham, I liked body guys. I was a body guy, and when I going into it, I wanted to be body guys. But not only that, there was something special about Billy Graham is the flamboyancy and the colors and the little bit of outlandish like stuff. And I think, you know, like Hogan was inspired by him. Jesse Ventura was inspired by him. And I love Jesse Ventura too. But he kind of like molded what wrestling is today, if you really think about it.
Oh, for sure.
So, yeah. And if you take the core fundamentals of who he is and what he was about, that's a lot of what we do today. Yeah. You know, so I think it's important. Like, you know, a lot of people, I think nowadays, they don't look back at these tapes and see the skeleton of what we do. But if you go back and you really watch him and you watch his promo, he's sports entertainment all day. Oh, yeah. All day. Kind of ahead of its time. Oh. You know, so.
Oh, yeah. When he was in there weren't guys that were just jacked up like he was.
Nope.
He was the kind of like the trademark that guys are now.
Man. Yeah. He started before, he was before Hulk Hogan. He had the tie-dye. He had the boas. Yeah. Well, before, like you said, too, Jesse Ventura. Same thing. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people say right now, oh, without Hulk Hogan, we wouldn't have this business. No, you have to do your history, and you know that Billy Graham was before Hulk Hogan, and, you know, there'll be more after that as well. So
Billy Graham was probably the most important, probably more important than Hogan if you really look into it. Hogan, obviously did what he did. Without Billy Graham, you don't have Hulk Hogan.
Yes, definitely. No. Okay, question for you. Do you make your gear? Do you have it made for you? Or do you have how much influence
I found some. I was walking around one day, and because I was trying to look for new pants, because I was like, these tights, they're not Zeeko. They're just not Zeeko, right? And I was trying to work with these designs, and I couldn't figure it out. And one day I walk into this thrift store, bro, and I see these tie-dye bell bottoms, and I'm like, I gotta try these out. And then I tried it out for a show. Everyone's like, dude, these are sweet. And I was like, all right, I think I found my So it was completely I was just out and about. So it points it out to me. I look at them and I'm like, yo, these kind of are cool. So I was like, let me try to wrestle in them. And the thing is, they're not just jeans. They're stretchy fabric too, man. So I got my knee pads in there. I got everything in there. It's just oh, wow, this worked out well. So no, they'll say you need to get real tights, brother. But it's hey, dude, whatever works. And I get mostly compliments on that bad boy. Unless they want to boo me, then they make fun of it. But I think they like it.
and that's the thing. It's not an easy thing to find. I remember Mick Foley, he used to go to the thrift shops and get, just the plain white button-up shirt. So for you to find something that you could actually wear in the ring that's not as generic, that's a big deal there.
And that's my thing is that if you look at my old tights, they're very detailed and a lot of going on, but I'm not the epitome of a professional wrestler anymore, man. Right. I'm Zeek the Freak. Yeah. And Zeek the Freak don't wear tights, man. Zeek the Freak wears bell-bottom jeans that are tie-dye and all these different colors and long earrings and bro, I'm expressing myself. You know?
Yeah. So, You can see some of the Jesse the Body in it. You can see some of Superstar Billy Graham. But the thing that threw me when you first came out, not only the pants, but the chest tattoos, I thought, that is one tough son of a bitch.
Yeah, baby.
To have that, I was like, my God, I couldn't even imagine that much work on your chest
Oh yeah,
is amazing. That just shows right there.
It's not even done yet, dude. I still got to shade all the rest of it in, dude.
Oh, it's not done?
I got some more work to do.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just inner strength, man. That's all that is. That is just crazy.
I think I'd be lying to you if it wasn't painful. Like I don't think getting a tattoo is ever pleasant, but yeah, you gotta be a little tough.
Yeah. but big and in a sensitive area, that's what threw me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, let me tell you, it did not feel good on my stretch marks, like where my chest grew and stuff like that. That's not fun. I got stretch marks on my shoulders and stuff when I got bigger, and that sucks to get a tattoo on those. But we make it work. I think I've taken worse bumps, so I'll be all right.
Now, did you design your tattoos?
They're all custom. So they're all designed. I work with the artist to even, like when I was younger, I got some roses and a clock, but still authentic. You're not going to see anybody else have the same designs as far as that goes. On my left side, I have a symbol that means empathy and things like that. I'm kind of giving away what kind of the meanings of my tattoo, the ones with the roses and everything. In the middle of that's the symbol of empathy. I think that's real important. Mm-hmm. Then the rest, it's all like, animals that represent things and love and all that stuff. So I come across rough around the edges, but my tattoos got a little softer meaning to them for sure.
Yeah. If you know the meaning.
Yeah. Yeah. No. So let's jump into where we're going to be at NCG. We can't wait for it ain't easy. So let's just take her back because you went in, you dropped the puck. They couldn't find Bobby Clancy because nobody was looking down at the time.
Yeah, Bobby Clancy, man, that jerk.
Yeah. And then
he's a jerk, dude. Talk about a guy. It needs to be all about him, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm dropping a puck.
Yeah.
For a local town, this guy's like, why can't I drop the puck? I'm throwing a whole fit. Talk about short man complex, right? Jeez, like, dude, we're here doing the same thing. You're yelling at me and whatever, man. That was bizarre behavior. Yeah. Bizarre behavior.
Yeah, and then they bring it into NCG where he gets Jesse V to come and give him a hand but I've been to a lot of wrestling. I've never witnessed 10-year-old kids saying a lot of 4-letter words, seeing what they actually did, put the puck in your mouth and all that.
Yeah, and deservingly so. Those guys suck. Oh, yeah. Like, Damian Chambers leading into the match, he was just like calling me a bitch, calling me that. I'm like, all right, dude, if you want to devalue who I am as a person, as a wrestler, that's cool, man. I'll show you in the ring. Right. But here you are calling me a bitch, calling me that, and really and trying to insult me. And then you're going to bring Big Brother in there to handle your business because you're about to lose some gold.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like I'm all for talking, shit and doing what you got to do. That's what we do. And I'm all about that because that's part of the competition. That's part of the challenge. But if you're going to sit here and call me all those things and you can't even finish a match on your own, what kind of person are you? Literally, what kind of person are you? So that's my thing, dude. It's like, if you're going to talk all that crap and do that, man, I got no respect for those guys. I have absolutely none. No respect for those guys. And I try to give them the benefit of the doubt. Damian Chambers is a champion, and I have to acknowledge that. But I'm also going to acknowledge that maybe I'm not the bitch in this scenario.
Yep. So you have your eyes set on the North American Championship as well as the heavyweight?
Yeah, 100% I do. Good. How can I not? It was, and I'm not one to be like, it's robbery, it's this, it's that. Look, dude, it is what it is. I lost. Mm-hmm. I lost. Yeah. Regardless of what happened, I lost. But that doesn't mean that that doesn't mean that, see, dude, I'm my blood's boiling. Yeah. It doesn't mean that I don't deserve another shot. It doesn't mean that I'm not worthy for another opportunity. They probably think that it does. But what they did and how they handled things, I think it only makes sense I get a rematch.
Yes.
Right. Especially because...
what do you guys think?
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, I'm watching it, and just the reaction from the crowd, and that was from little to old.
Yeah.
Pissed off people. It shows that we love you and we want to see you exceed and be the top.
Right.
Like I said, I always say that you're the top face.
Yeah.
But with the top face comes the fact that you are the top guy.
Yeah.
100%.
That goes together. I'm all for heels having titles. I have no problem with that.
Sure.
But the face having a title, earning the title, is showing kids, to me, that shows them that work hard, do what you have to do, and stay in the game no matter what, and you'll succeed.
Yeah.
And that's the story.
Yeah, you have
And
to do it
you
the right
overcome,
way.
you know, look, even in my whole career, I've overcome a lot of things. I've overcome injuries. I've overcome my identity. I've overcome shitheads that want to screw me over in matches.
Yeah.
But it's getting up again. It's trying again. And knowing what you can do and overcoming all those obstacles, like you said. And I think that's probably the most important thing, what we do. And especially to kids and stuff. We are superheroes, in a sense. We're superheroes and supervillains. I was just in a show on Saturday, and somebody came up to me, and usually after matches and stuff, I put a kid up on my shoulders, and I walk around, I show them what we do. And I show them, like, look at this crowd, they're cheering you too. And his dad told me, he was like, you are like a superhero to them. And I take that to heart. I do. So I want to be that superhero for them too. And that comes with, okay, any obstacles that I got to overcome, I think about those kind of things.
Right.
And it's like, if I'm a superhero to them, I have to win.
Yeah.
So here's me asking for another opportunity at that North American Championship, because it's not only for me, it's for everybody that believes in me and who I am a superhero to.
Yeah,
and I think that's the most important thing. I have to win for them, not just for me. I have to win for them.
Yeah,
and I got to show that these bad guys, that they can't win. They can't. No matter what. They might win a couple battles, but they ain't gonna win the whole war. And I know that's so cliche to say, but it's true.
No, it is, and it's good for them to see that, because we know that you had the triple threat match to become the number one contender. So you did that the right way, and then to go on and they have the shenanigans go on. It's stolen from you. You're right. You should get another shot at it in a one-on-one or a special type match, whatever. No DQ, whatever it is. And then, hey, bring some of your own buddies there and see what happens.
Absolutely. When I won the ladder match to become Mr. NCG, I knew right then and there that I have to prove something to these people even more, And by the way, I won that ladder match being hella afraid of heights.
Oh, no way. Really? Okay.
But just side note. But yeah, once I did that, I knew, I was like, okay, we're gonna go places here. I gotta set the fire, and I gotta let the rocket take off. So.
Oh, for sure. Makes perfect sense. Now, is there a chance that we may see you try and exact a little revenge this? What are we? We're less than 6 days away?
I don't go for revenge, bro. I go to... Revenge isn't on my mind. My thing is like, I still got something to prove. Like I said earlier, I lost last show. Mm-hmm. So as far as like revenge goes or something, look, they're going to get what's coming to them. And I have a match with Jesse V February 22nd at NCG. Yes. So it's not about revenge. It's about giving them what they deserve. And I guess you can call that revenge, but that's not in my head. It's really just like, okay, guy, you want to interfere, you want to take away an opportunity from me? Okay, well then, let me just kind of show you, let me show you what champion you took away from the people. Let me show you what I can be, because you've seen a really nice version of Zeeko. But now you did something to release Zeek the Freak, and that's not revenge. That's just you pressed a button, and I'm just here to show you what you pressed. As far as like, I'm not mad. This is the thing. I'm not mad that Damian Chambers is still champion. I'm not thrilled that Jesse V came up. It's like, okay, this is what happened. This is how I got to handle it. It's just matter of fact. You asked for something, and now you're gonna get it.
Yeah.
And it's not revenge. It's just, hey, bro, you want that smoke? You're going to get it.
Exactly.
Okay. You're getting what you asked for. So I'm giving them what they're asking for. You poke the button, you poke the bear.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you what you're asking for. Revenge does sound nice. And I'm sure when I pin Jesse 1, 2, 3, there is going to be a satisfaction to that. But it's just, I got to get to the next phase. This is all for getting to where I need to be and going back to get opportunity for gold. If that makes sense. That makes sense?
No, that makes sense. They started it. You're going to finish it.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much that. Call it revenge, call it whatever, call it payback. It ain't about that. I don't like Jesse V as a person. So even if he didn't do that, I would still like who he surrounds himself with and what he represents. It's just he would still get that same smoke, So whatever. That was just icing on the cake. And I was like, okay, well, you messed with me. So now it's just like, okay, well, that's what you asked for. That's what you're going to get.
Here we go.
Sometimes you gotta just see what you wish for, and then you just regret it.
Pretty much. And yeah, I guess you can call it revenge in a sense, but that's not what's fueling me 100%, Would I like to punch him in the face a few times? Yeah, for sure. But what fuels me is just getting the crown to be on top and getting the gold and representing the people of NCG.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's one of the things that we have is we have a young man coming with us. He's going to accompany us. He's 10. He has never been to a wrestling event in his life.
Yeah.
Up until about a week ago, never ever watched a wrestling match.
Really?
So
that hurts my heart. That hurts my heart.
Oh, yeah. I went through a lot with him, and I showed him some of your stuff just so he would be knowing who he's going to watch. And the first thing that he said about Zeeko was, that guy's a superhero. And I said to him, that's what I want him to see is how big these guys are, how much love they put into it, and that they put their time in. They do the they build up so that they are larger than life. So, yes, other than the cape, you're a superhero.
Yeah.
My man. That, again, dude, it makes me feel good,
Yeah.
I don't know. I've always been kind of like that guy that's superheroes motivated me. My family and stuff, like we weren't really like a tight family like that. And I didn't really have a lot of like role models growing up. And I kind of like moved out really young and did all those things. So, but kind of my escape were superheroes and wrestling and larger than life people. So being told that, it's like, not, a little emotional, but also it's just kind of like, I'm becoming what I've always looked up to, and I think it's kind of cool to feel that. It gives me goosebumps actually. So I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
And do you have a favorite superhero, like either now or from when you were growing up?
A lot of people, they say Batman and all that stuff because he's cool and all that, but I love Batman, but I love Superman because it's not really the superpowers. Of course he can do everything. You can argue that he's OP, but it's like a man who has the power to do anything he wants, but he chooses to be human. And I think that, and he chooses to live with human, and he chooses to be the savior for our race. And I think that is what a superhero should be. So I've always been a Superman guy in that, the essence of Superman, right? I think I've always been that, but I love me some Batman, brother.
This is your guy. This is your guy right here. You need Batman.
I love Batman, but there's just something with Superman that hits me emotionally, right? Because when I watch Superman and when I, that's a role model to me,
See, and that's what it is for me for Batman, is I do Batman for little kids, sick kids, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's the look on their face that's worth every second that you're in there and you're sweating and you're doing. But to me, Batman was the best because he was human, and much like a wrestler, he had to train his body, had to train his mind to be able to do this. He didn't need special powers, other than the fact that he was rich.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm working on that part.
Money is power, right?
Yeah. I'm working on that part now.
Yeah. Well, we all are, brother. Yeah. We all are. Holy shit.
Yeah. So, But following your career, you're all over the place, especially in the United States. You're all over the indie scene. It's amazing to see how many places you go and how many of the different promotions that you just have a huge fan base in.
Yeah, man. I'm building the brand, and I think, and getting into a real point of things, it's like I think the brand of Zeeko has really it kind of it fast forwarded some things, because like I said, when I was Karam and I was trying to be something, like I did everything textbook. I was textbook perfect and all those things, like everything what a wrestler should be. And I think the whole rebrand and being able to do that and showcase myself a different way has really resurfaced me in a different light. And I think people see that, especially like AAW in Chicago, and in places in New Jersey. I'm now making it to the East Coast, all over the Midwest. You'll see me at some big shows there. And yeah, man, we're just gonna, I take it day by day. It was funny because it's all, when I first started, I was like, oh, dude, you're gonna get signed here. You're gonna get signed, da 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 da. And like, I always let it bother me because, well, why not now? Why not now? And I learned to take it day by day and just appreciate the art that I'm giving out there. And so I appreciate the acknowledgement and all the opportunities of what I'm getting, but I still take it day by day. I stay grounded and, just got to keep working, right? Yeah. So I appreciate that. No, I'm thankful for all the opportunities. And I'm glad to live in a place like, IWR, which is Rhino's promotion. Rhino.
We do.
They're giving me a hell of an opportunity to fight Thomas Vladimir, the NWA superstar. They're champions. So, and that's like my backyard. So right. I get opportunities really close to home too. And I'm glad I have the support system to have those things. So everything's working good. And I'm thankful. I'm getting too real right now. I'm real thankful for everything and I appreciate everything. But
that's what you're supposed to be.
Yeah. What is it?
You're supposed to be grateful, right? Like that's.
Yeah, I'm very grateful. But Zeek the Freak is getting what he deserves, guy. Come on.
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, is there someone that you either have been in the ring with where you said, okay, this match was a banger, or someone else or someone that you would like to be in the ring with at some point and haven't had the chance yet?
Yeah. So one of my, as far as do I have I never did lists of wrestlers I want to wrestle or anything, because no matter who you give me or who I'm working with or anything like that, we're going to make magic. I never want to be this is Zeeko's wrestling a star. We're coworkers and we're in the same ring at the same time. And no matter who I'm in the ring with, we're going to put on a hell of a show, no matter what name is there or anything like that. However, as far as the opportunities I had and who I'm thankful to have worked with, Fred Rosser, New Japan superstar. I worked with him in California in 2022 in LA. That was a game changer for me, because having someone who was in the WWE system for, I think, 10 years, and then in New Japan, who also is the trainer of the LA New Japan dojo, and being able to do a solid match with somebody like that feels good. And that's one of my best matches I've had. I had a very good match at GCW with Joey Janela. I've had multiple good matches with Jake Something. And as far as that goes, yeah, man, I think the one that sticks out to me the most is the one with Fred Rosser. Although I'm very excited for me and Thomas at IWR March 20th. And then, I'm sure I'm going to come across very talented people at NCG. I think you're going to see some cool stuff over there. And with who they bring in and kind of the superstardom that they have over there, it's highly likely you're going to see Zeek the Freak have some money matches and some dream matches that everybody wants to see.
All right. We will be there for it, definitely.
Definitely. So going off of that, we have the Godfather coming into town for Ain't Easy. Hero of mine, guy's phenomenal. But when you coming in and Zeek the Freak shows up, does Zeke the Freak look up to the Godfather, or do you just look at him as another coworker, somebody who does the same thing?
I look up to, I look up to, I respect and look up to, and I think everybody should, and I think there should be more of it. The people before us in this business have paved the way to what we do now. And without them, you know, who knows where we'd be. The Godfather has done so much for my childhood and my, you know, even my brothers and sisters, you know, all that stuff. And being able to step in the same ring with him and be a coworker to him means so much, you know? So I'll say it like that, is like being able to be with people who I grew up watching and them just, it's cool. So yeah, I do look up to them in a sense, for sure. But also, I think they know that I'm a coworker now too. So that level of asking questions, and it's not a fan to a superstar. It's superstar to superstar, and there's a mutual respect there too. And I think when you have it like that, it means even more than just, oh, I look up to this person. It's like, dang, I grew up watching this person. Like same with Rhino. Like Rhino was my favorite, like one of my favorites growing up, right? Yeah. And then like a couple years back, or even a year ago, I was tied to him. Like me and him, for some randomly, I was like wrestling him for 6 weekends in a row. So then like we got to know each other. And then he was like, why don't you come work for me? And then I started doing matches. I did like 4 main events for him over there. And he was involved in every single match. So I knew that he liked working with me. And I think showing and proving yourself to people that you grew up watching and them having a respect for you and what you do and seeing something in you, that's a feeling that's just, you know, like it feels so good, right? Yeah. So, and not to go on such ramble with that. So yeah, I do look up to them in a sense, but I think it means so much more to me that they can look at me as an equal too.
Yeah, because like you said, it's about that respect. You have the respect for them. They have the respect for you.
Exactly.
You work together.
They respect me as a worker, and that means the world to me, right? Yeah. So that's where I stand with that.
So being in Michigan, have you had the chance to work with Nate Matson?
Yeah.
Amazing Nate?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think anytime you have Nate Matson in a locker room, you should be very, very thankful. You should be very, very thankful. And some of these, like, you know, and I'm not hating on the new crop of folk or anything like that, but if you got somebody like that, like who has been a trainer at BCW, in Canada, who's been a trainer in Canada, who helps training at House of Truth, who helps training like down in Toledo with Trey Miguel and all them, you know, I think like if you have somebody like that in the locker room, you better ask him to watch your match. You know, you better. If Nate Matson is in your locker room, you have him watch your match, and that's all I ever did. Is every time he was there, and now we're good friends. I consider Nate one of my good friends. And I think he appreciates how I respect the business. So I guess here's a little side note for the younger folk, I guess, you know, whatever. I'm not like any vet or anything like that, but I'll say like, you have anybody like that in the locker room, that's like a ball of knowledge you can't get anywhere else, you know? So like, and he has wrestled everyone and anyone at any time. Like, do that. Like ask him and how anybody in that caliber, you know. Yeah, I've worked with Nate one time in a singles match. Man, that dude dug up like 25 minutes in me. that guy can go. Like he can go 30 minutes and like no problem, and he'll dig it out of you too. I remember they moved us to first match because I had to go catch a flight or something after the show, and he's like, "Oh, that's it. We're gonna kill the rest of the show. We're going 25 minutes. We were first match opener. We went 25 minutes, banger." No way. And yeah, dude, I was just glad I got to keep up. He's awesome.
Yeah, we've always heard good from him. And you said he can go. I was there not too long ago. It was about September. He went. He was the first match of the night, and then comes back. And he's the last match of the night in a tag team match. Like, you know what? Good for you. He's double duty, but we've only heard good about him. And we say it all the time. I say it all the time anyways. If you have somebody who's willing to share that knowledge with you, not everybody's willing to do that. So you have to take advantage, like you said, because a lot of people will say, I can't really tell you how to do it. I just, no, show me how to do it. And then when you're no longer here or, whatever, we can work together.
Bring the business he played a big role, actually. Fun fact, he played a big role in he was the guy I was talking the whole Zeeko thing about. I saw him at IWR. I was like, this is what I'm thinking. I need to do this change. I need to do it for me. And he was kind of the one that was kind of like, you need to do this. This is how you should do it. Do these steps. If this is how you feel, do it. And he guided me a lot on how to do that process. So I owe a lot to Nate, man. Since I broke in, he's always treated me very well. Yeah. So to me, he's one of the guys that will always be like a brother to me. He's family.
And without giving too much away, he's just so mild-mannered because I talked to him when I first met him officially.
He's a good man. He's a good man, a gentleman.
Oh, hello, yeah, how are you? Nice. But in the ring, they hated him.
Talk about somebody who can be a dick in the ring, though.
Definitely.
Yeah, dude, that guy can do it.
He just got out there and he named the place was called whatever. The place was called Cottam. And he goes, center of the ring, I love Kingsville. And that's not Cottam. They were just on him. Yeah.
And that's before the belly. Oh, come on.
Yeah,
what's going on?
Before the bell even rang, they were already on him. He's like, I got him right here in my hand.
Yeah, for sure.
So let me ask you, have you ever had any matches where maybe things started to go a little sideways and you were a little worried for your safety?
Yeah, when I first started, I was in a match. I was in a scramble at Rockstar Pro in Ohio. I don't think they run anymore too much. Kind of evolved to what like Revolver is now. All the same people that ran Rockstar at the time. And there was a freak accident where Ace Austin jumped on me and my knee popped, and had to get surgery pretty much after that. And that kind of dictated kind of like where my career went after that. But yeah, man, there's always like freak accidents. That was probably the scariest thing that happened to me in a match because I couldn't walk, and it was just kind of like, match just started. Oops, my leg popped. I'm fucked. And then you just don't know what's going to happen after that. So as far as that goes, and then there are times where, maybe, you get hit a little too hard and stuff and, you throw a little bit of that back and then it gets a little rough in there and then you get back in place, and then we laugh about it at the end. You know what I mean? So, there have been times, as I got older, I think like when I was younger, I think I used to be a little too angry, like when stuff would happen. Or like if somebody hit me too hard or and I would just like, but now I'm like, just like, well, this is part of what we do. It ain't ballet is what they say. And then, all that stuff. So it just comes with what we do. And sometimes you get a little annoyed and, you throw a couple receipts and then you move on, but nothing's personal.
Yeah, there you go. If you could perform in a venue, you name the venue, what's the dream venue for you to perform in, if any?
Man. I mean, this one's a long shot, but maybe one day. I think Zeek the Freak would do very well in Japan. I think he would do very, very, very well in Japan. What I bring to the table, I think that crowd would eat it up. And I'm confident in that. So I'll say one of my dream ones is the Tokyo Dome. Okay. I think a lot of people would want to do that. It's a dream one for sure. But it's mostly like, it's like, I think wrestling in Japan in general would be like a gold mine and stuff like that. But I'd say the Tokyo Dome. Dome, and then the old ECW venue that they used to go. That one's in Philly.
The Hammerstein Ballroom.
Yeah, that one. That would do that one. I would love to do that. I think that one could happen fairly soon. We'll see, right? Okay. And then places like that, stuff that has some history in it. And then wherever WrestleMania is, brother, come on.
Yeah. There you go. See, I'm not going to say it. I'm asking you.
Yeah. Pretty much that. I'd say Tokyo Dome because, like, everything looks cool in the Tokyo Dome.
Oh, it does. And I know there's Corky and Hull, too. So, I mean, but It's maybe not on the same level, but I know it's up there with the Tokyo Dome.
That too, dude. You're gonna learn that like venue names are kind of not my forte. So
yeah, oh no, that's fine.
Yeah, so I picked the easy ones, but yeah, that one too.
All right. Have you performed in Canada other than this area here that we're in?
Yeah, I used to wrestle consistently for Super Kicked. I'm sure you'll see me back there eventually too. Super Kicked for Chris Chambers. I've done Smash Wrestling, not too many times.
Okay.
And then Alpha One. I'm pretty sure you'll see me at Alpha One coming up soon. And then after that, I'm a tag champion in Top Tier in Hamilton, Ontario. I hold the tag team championships over there with Rohit Raju, and then you'll see us over there soon. And so I'm consistently in Canada. I love the fan base. I think they love what I do too. Canada's cool. There's a lot of political drama going on now, but as long as I could wrestle, we're good to go.
There you go. All right, that's what's important. What was my other question? If you are not in the ring, what are you doing? Are you watching any shows? Are you?
I'm playing the Nintendo 64, homie.
What?
Holy man!
Nintendo 64.
Dude. I'm a retro collector. I collect retro video games.
No way.
I go to retro stores about 3 times a week, and I collect those. I play those. I get modded games on those systems. I'm a nerd.
No
so
way.
On my downtime, I lift weights and play Zelda and Mario. I'm specifically a Nintendo geek. Now we're really opening the door here.
No, that's what we want.
Yeah. So I'm currently sitting in this room that I'm slowly making into a retro gaming room. And you can see this old school TV.
No way.
And all that stuff there. And this
That's
is just the start. I'm actually gonna get the walls changed, get the lights, everything. It's a little project I do that I like in my downtime. It's we're gonna get out of wrestling for a little bit. I'm gonna go into this little rant, right? So it's like everything's about like graphics and things look so realistic. But I like retro games because the limited designs, it showed the importance of cartoons and like just how things don't have to always look so realistic and the creativeness and the limited stuff that you do in video games, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I can go on a whole nerd talk, guys. So that's all I'm going to say about that.
So I live with nerds.
I'm a retro gamer. I collect a lot of physical media, stuff like that, DVDs, VHSs, stuff like that.
Okay, if you're playing a sports game on Nintendo, what is your go-to sports game?
Oh God, you asked me the number one game that I barely.
Oh, okay. No, if you don't do sports,
retro.
That's fine.
Let me see. The last retro sports game I played, it was like FIFA, 90 something, FIFA's. Yeah, dude. I'm not. I don't watch too many sports outside of pro wrestling.
Okay.
The Super Bowl just happened, and I'm I didn't even know who was who was playing.
That's right.
Oh, all right.
That's
good. My bad, dude. I like watching hockey. I think Red Wings games are really fun to go to.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad, when I was growing up, I'm Lebanese, and in the Middle East, soccer is huge. So when the World Cup comes, I watch the World Cup, and we root for Brazil in this household. So as far as sports go, I used to watch a lot of basketball, but the game itself changed a little bit. Mm-hmm. Everyone's draining threes now, and I think they broke the game a little bit.
Yeah,
I don't know if that makes sense.
It does, because they drive in and then kick it out. Okay, just lay it up and in. No, you got to kick it out. And there's one game earlier this season where I think they took 124 three-pointers.
Yes.
In one game. There's no need for that. In a regulation game. There's no need.
Dude, it changes how the game is played. So I think it's hard for me to watch sometimes these days, but
sure.
I do like basketball as well. I still follow it. And I'll watch the finals and all that stuff.
Yeah. All right. Good call. And you watch hockey because you're in hockey town. So
yep.
You
love hockey. There's nothing better than a live hockey game, live Red Wings game, going in there, having a couple beers, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then, having a good time. Speaking
of the Red Wings, really quickly, have you had the chance to step in the ring with Darren McCarty? Dude,
he's awesome. It's so fun. I'm going to tell you the most random story. I was on Twitter. It was still Twitter at the time. And I saw somebody followed me. And I noticed he followed me. I was like, huh. And it said, I was like, that's this. And it said 4-time Stanley Cup champion. I was like, I think I should like shoot him a message and thank him for following me, right? Because I was like, this is so weird. Why is he following me? Because I didn't know he was like that deep into wrestling at the time. I think he was just kind of dipping his toes and was kind of like showing that he was a fan. So I shoot him a message. I'm like, hey man, thanks for the follow, because I wasn't expecting it. And he goes, oh, hey man, yeah, I'm a huge fan. And he was like, yeah, I watch you here, here, and here. I was like, this is crazy. So then after that, yeah, dude, like he gave me his phone number, and I talked to him from time to time. It's like bizarre, but also it's like really cool what wrestling has kind of like opened up and who I've met and things like that. I never thought I would be like friends or acquaintances with him, or somebody who was a 4-time Stanley Cup champion. Someone who in Detroit is very, very looked up to.
Oh, definitely.
So, but yes, I have. He's showed up to a few shows of mine. We always catch up and shoot the shit, and he's a good dude.
Yeah. Met him a couple of times, and both times, again, he said he's going to come on the show. So we'll see. We're still working.
Yeah.
We're still working on it, but that was going to be my number one question. How does a 4-time Stanley Cup champion end up getting thrown through a table in the city of Windsor? I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah, I think he's just a bad motherfucker, dude, and he just wants to be a part of it, man. Yep. If you watch the old Red Wings videos of him, that dude, you don't want to be in a fight with that dude.
That's my guy. That left hand.
I think he just likes that adrenaline, and I think that's cool. I could always appreciate that.
For sure.
So February 22nd, NCG Ain't Easy.
Yes.
After Zeeko takes out Jesse V, what's next for the Zeek Freak?
First off, I got to kick Jesse V's ass for screwing me over. Yeah. And, it's not about revenge. It's not about anything like that. It's just, hey, you did that. This is what we got to do. Screw it. We'll call it revenge. I'm going to kick that coward's ass. Yeah. I'm being too goddamn nice. Screw that guy. Yeah. I'm going to kick his ass. He screwed me off a title. I'm going to whoop his ass. That's it. Whatever. I'm trying to behave. Now I'm going crazy. Hey-oh, yeah. I got to kill him. No, for real.
Get ready.
He's somebody that, it's funny because I not to get too much because I know we're closing out, but he's somebody where it was lined up for us to cross paths a few times, but it never worked out. He made sure it was going to work out because I'm not going to miss the opportunity to whoop that boy's behind. Yeah. So when that's done, when I'm done taking care of Jesse V, when I'm done kicking his ass, I'm going to go back to Damian Chambers. I'm going to make sure I get that title match again. I'm going to make sure I beat him on the mat 1, 2, 3 and hold that title high because everybody knows it. Zeeko knows it. You guys know it. The fans at NCG knows it, that I deserve the North American NCG Championship.
You heard it here first.
And we're all about doing predictions, so that's our prediction. Coming up is that Zeek the Freak is carrying the title for NCG.
100%. Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir. Anything we missed, like you said, really quickly, we're about to close out. Is there anything that we need to know or the fans need to know?
Y'all got to know. Yeah, there's one thing you guys got to know. Y'all got to know that when Zeeko walks in the door, Jesse V, once me and him get through, that's history. And as soon as I'm done with him, I'm going to Damian Chambers. I'm going to claim that title. I'm going to win that title. I'm going to hold it high. You guys know it. I'll just say it again. You guys know it. The fans know it. Zeek the Freak knows it. Yeah, you guys, give me a hey-o. Give me a hey-o.
Hey-o.
Yeah. You guys know it. So that when I walk in that door, I'm going to have gold.
Yeah. And we'll be there. We'll be rooting you on, and we'll be getting our freak on just waiting for you.
My man. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, thank you very much for taking the time out of your schedule to be on the show. We really appreciate it.
Where can people find you on?
I like shooting the shit with you guys a lot. So
where can people find you online?
Zeeky Baby _. That's my X and that's my Instagram. You can find me on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any shows coming up that you want to tell us about? You said Las Vegas coming up. Do you want to mention that now?
Yeah, I got Vegas coming up, Mania week. That's the whole extravaganza for Mania. I got to get the specific day for that, but I think it's on the Saturday of that Mania, because mine will be around noon, because there's a bunch, the collective, all that stuff.
Yeah,
so
April,
I don't really
April 19th, I believe.
believe so.
Is that
it's the whole
Effie's show?
collective. What's that?
Is that Effie's show?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. Yeah, but I gotta, I gotta wait till they announce that. But hey, whatever.
Oh, okay. I won't. No, it's okay. I won't announce it then. That's fine.
Thank you. But March 20th, it's going to be IWR, me and Thomas. And then, honestly, NCG, February 22nd. That's the one I'm really, really excited for. That's the one that I got something to prove. So February 22nd, me and Jesse V, that's the one that you guys got to keep an eye on. That's going to, regardless of how I feel about Jesse, he's a talented guy, and we're going to put some magic in there. So be there.
Awesome. Can't wait.
6 days away. So if you are looking for us, you can find us at CKRT, Border City Radio, at gmail.com. You can drop us a line. You can also find us on Spotify. We are the Wrestling Roundup with Jay and Dan on Spotify. We are on Facebook, the Wrestling Roundup on Facebook. We are also on Instagram. We are Wrestling_Roundup on Instagram. So again, thanks for joining us for the Wrestling Roundup. We hope you enjoyed diving into the world of suplexes and smackdowns with us. Stay tuned for another exciting episode next week. Same time, same ring. So for now, we are out of here. And we'd like to say thank you to our special guest, Zeeko. I'm
Zeeko Freak.
I'm Jay. He's Dan. And we'll see you when we look at you.
Can't wait.
Thank you.